Hi, everybody. Welcome to English Digest. I'm Stephanie.
I'm Tom.
It's a health unit today, so we're going to be talking about our health. And I don't know how many of our listeners like the sun, but as Americans, Tom and I, of course, love the sun. We grew up in it. And getting a tan is kind of the thing you do in America. We feel like it makes you look healthy. But here it's not so popular. People like to keep their skin as light as possible, especially the ladies, which I appreciate. You get fewer wrinkles that way.
My idea is that people don't like to look dark because it makes them look like they're laborers or something like that. And in the West, of course, you want to look dark because that means you have enough money to take tropical vacations to the Caribbean or wherever. So it's a couple of different kinds of concepts. But one thing that remains constant is that we do have to protect ourselves from the sun. And even though now we're in the month of December, we still need to be aware of those harmful UV rays that are out there, and that's what our article is all about today. It's winter sun, the hidden threat to your skin. Let's listen to the entire contents of our lesson now one time. As summer comes to an end, do you pack away your sunscreen with the rest of your summer gear, convinced that its role is finished for the year? While many people assume sunscreen is a shield only needed on hot beach days and sweltering afternoons, the reality is quite different. Our skin requires protection from the sun not only in the summer heat, but also during winter's chill. There's no denying that a moderate amount of sunlight improves our health. However beneficial as the sun can be, it gives off two types of harmful ultraviolet UV rays, UVA and UVB. While UVB rays vary with the seasons, UVA rays comprising 95% of the sun's radiation are constant companions throughout the year. These rays penetrate clouds, fog, and windows, making no exception even on the gloomiest winter days. Excessive or prolonged exposure to these harmful rays can damage our skin cells' DNA. This could speed up skin aging, which manifests itself as fine lines and wrinkles, and also increase the risk of skin cancer. The skincare steps we take today lay the foundation for our future health. So how can we protect our skin? While our layered winter outfits partially block UV rays, we must go further. Regular application of sunscreen, even on cloudy days, remains an essential habit if you're planning to be outside for an extended period. Don't forget your sunglasses either. They prevent harmful rays from reaching your eyes. Plus, if you're planning a snowy adventure, beware. Snow can reflect up to 80% of UV rays, nearly doubling our exposure. Our quest for skin protection doesn't take a break after summer. Armed with the right knowledge and reasonable precautions, we can enjoy every season without compromising our skin health. Instead of a seasonal routine, let's make sun protection a year-round commitment.
Okay, let's dive in, guys. We're talking about the winter sun. Most of us figure that the winter sun is much more comfortable. You know, how could it get us sunburn or cause damage to our skin? It's sure a lot more comfortable in the winter. And in the winter, I love to see the sun come out. It's certainly nicer and gives me a happier feeling than those really cloudy days or those rainy days we get in the winter.
Indeed. So as summer comes to an end, do you pack away your sunscreen with the rest of your summer gear, convinced that its role is finished for the year? Now, of course, it's December now, and summer has been over for quite some time, so maybe you have to think back a bit. Yes, when summer ends, when school starts, do you pack away your sunscreen with the rest of your summer gear, your swimsuits, your parasols, your goggles, and stuff like that, because you're convinced that its role, the role of sunscreen, is finished for the year. I don't really pack mine away. I just don't use it. I just leave it there on the shelf. But this might be some good advice here because the sun does shine year-round. And here in Taiwan, of course, we're the subtropics. So even on sunny days, it is risky to go out without sunscreen on.
Yeah, I use it every day, actually. It's just part of my routine. I put just moisturizer on, but my moisturizer has a lot of sunscreen in it, which is good. I recommend that. So while many people assume sunscreen is a shield, only needed on those hot beach days and sweltering afternoons, the reality, or what's really true, is quite different. So when you shield yourself from something, you're kind of covering yourself, protecting yourself, usually because there's something out there that can harm you. For example, umbrellas can shield you from the strong sun. At first, I didn't want to use an umbrella in the summer. I thought it looked ridiculous as a foreigner. But once I tried it, I thought, oh, this is much cooler. I'm going to use my umbrella on hot, sunny days now. So I learned quickly. So to shield just means to protect someone from something, from being harmed. Here's another word here, swelter. Sweltering is a word you'll often see and being used in very hot tropical climates, or even in the desert where I'm from. We'll often say, oh, it's sweltering today, or I'm sweltering. You're just really, really, really hot.
Right, and another word you could use is muggy. That means it's hot, and there's a lot of humidity in the air as well. That can be uncomfortable. And again, some people use sunscreen as a shield. Here, shield is being used as a noun. This reminds me of course, what a shield is. It's a piece of metal that you protect yourself with when somebody's trying to attack you with a sword.
Like Captain America has a shield.
Yes, he's got a shield with a star on it.
Yeah.
And in the United States, the glass in your car that you look out of when you're driving is the wind shield, but that is called your wind screen if you're in the UK. But here, of course, people assume that sunscreen is a shield and it can protect you from the sun on hot beach days or those sweltering afternoons. But the reality is quite different. You may think that you don't need the sunscreen anymore, but hey, we've still got some realities that we need to face. Our skin requires protection from the sun not only in the summer heat, but also during winter's chill. I'm probably guilty of this as well. I figure that, well, it's winter now, and it's cloudy more often, and the sun is not as strong, so I don't need to put on sunscreen at all. I'm okay, and I don't remember the last time I ever got horribly sunburned in December. It's always in July or August.
Yeah, so there's no denying that a moderate amount of sunlight improves our health. It does. We need sunlight to produce vitamin D3, which keeps us healthy. It helps our immune system, helps us from getting sick or protecting us from colds. So if you use something that's described as being a moderate amount, it's not very large or very small. It's kind of in between. If you describe something that has moderate temperatures, it's a place that has comfortable temperatures. It's neither too hot nor too cold. Or moderate could also mean that you're staying within kind of reasonable limits. It's not too much one way or the other. So we're saying you need a moderate amount of sunlight, not too much and not too little.
Right, so we do need to expose ourselves to sunlight because, as you said, it produces vitamin D, and we need that. However beneficial as the sun can be, it gives off two types of harmful ultraviolet rays, UVA and UVB. I think I've also heard of UVC as well, but we don't really have time to get into that today. Ultraviolet means the wavelengths beyond the color purple. If they're beyond the color red, they are infrared, and here we've got ultraviolet. I think you all know what UV stands for, but we've got two types, UVA and UVB.
Now, UVB rays can change or vary with the seasons, but the UVA rays, they comprise 95% of the sun's radiation. That radiation we're referring to is the energy that comes to us in the form of heat or light, and it's sent out as waves that you can't see. So these sun creams or sunscreens work by blocking out some of the harmful ultraviolet radiation. So that's why they're very important. Now, these rays penetrate fog, clouds, windows, anything out there, making no exception, even on the gloomiest winter days. To penetrate is one of our vocab words. It means you enter something or pass through or spread through something. especially something that's not easily spread through or passed through. For example, nowadays we have these bullets that can penetrate thick armor, which is terrible for our policemen. So penetrate means to go through, pass through. And gloomiest is a superlative of the adjective gloomy. When something's gloomy, it's kind of dark. It leaves you with kind of a sad feeling. It's the opposite of bright. So a dark, gloomy day or rainy, gloomy day is one of those dark days that makes you feel kind of down in the dumps, kind of blue.
Yeah, my first year in Taiwan, I had a very gloomy winter, and I wondered why the heck I'd come here because it was so depressing. But after that, the winters weren't so bad. Okay, that brings us to the midway point in our lesson for today. Let's listen now to our Chinese teacher.
听众朋友大家好，我是安娜。现在进入12月了，你是不是觉得很冷呢？我相信大家的防晒品应该也都收起来了吧。不过其实我们今天要谈的防晒有时候冬天还是会用到耶。这篇是设计成为文艺选填，其实这种题型很多的考生都会觉得非常困难，因为选项里面的字有时候不止一个词性，有时候也不止一个意思，然后又要看得懂文章，就感觉好像考得好细没有错，这真的是一个蛮具有挑战性的题目。那这个题目我们还是要来多多的练习会比较好。那首先呢，还是要先看一下框框到底给什么样的一个选项，然后来特别思考一下有哪几个字要特别注意呢？例如像 A 的 block， 其实就动名词同一个字当动词就有去阻挡的意思，当名词的话 block 可以是街区甚至是一块一块的什么东西所以动名词都有可能，这时候你就要先写好B 选项的 prolonged 加了 ed 之后，当然很有可能是动词过去式，就延长嘛，但是也可以当成形容词来使用，因为有时候动词的家族变化字是直接用 ed 或者是 ing 去变成它的形容词，那有时候会有不一样的变形，所以我们在一开始学英文的时候如果能够比较仔细，学得很扎实的话是比较好的。再来 C 选项的 application， 它的动词原形是 apply A-P-P-L-Y，那 apply 本身就有 apply for something 申请甚至是 apply A to B 把 A 应用在 B 上啦，甚至你是涂抹药膏也是这个动作叫做 apply， 所以这个 application 的名词就会有3个不一样的意思，有可能是申请应用，甚至是涂抹。好，再来 D 选项的 assume， 这是我们比较少感觉会用到的，因为好像研究生在发表文章的时候比较常会用 assume，它其实就是认为啦，那你的认为不是没有经过根据所以是经过什么样的想法或者是证据才有可能会 assume， 有时候 assume 会翻成推测。好，那这是比较需要注意的一些选项。那接下来我们就直接来看一下它到底出现在哪里，文章当中会有10个洞洞，我们要把10个字填进去。当然一开始呢，我们又看到一个最熟悉第一段第一句的这里的 as， 我们说过 as 如果当连接词就是 when because 如同好像，在这边谈到的是一个时间，所以有可能是 when 当夏天接近尾声的时候，有时候会翻成随着都有时间的这个功能。我们就把防晒乳全部都收起来啦，但是我们大部分人都还是会觉得防晒乳就是夏天在用的嘛，所以接下来到了第二句一开始的 while 要特别注意在文章当中也出现不止一次。while 除了 when 的意思之外，还有另外一个叫做 although 虽然，所以当我们看到这边的时候，头脑就要动了，是当很多人还是虽然很多人。好，在这里第一格我们注意一下词性，很多人什么 Sunscreen is a shield， 后面的 only 一直到逗点可以先左右括号，它是关系子句简化，省略的是which或 that 跟 be 动词的 is， 所以在这里如果是 when 的意思好像有点不通顺因为逗点之后说 the reality is quite different，所以虽然好啦，大家都觉得好像它就是一个夏天要用的一个 shield， 但是其实不太一样好，所以我们第一格至少知道它是一个动词动作，虽然大多数的人都怎样。那动词的话有可能是 A D 呀，或者是 J 的 vary change 就是改变的意思。所以在这里应该是很多人虽然他们都认为 sunscreen 就是夏天用，但是其实不太一定哦。第一格选 D 的答案会比较通顺。好，那么接下来的第3句就是我们今天的第2题。其实你可以从句子当中逗点前后有 not only but also 把它抓出来，强调的不止在夏天的热，同样也在冬天的冷，它不刚好就有一种对比对照的意思吗？所以第2格前面是所有格冬天的什么，这个名词的 chill 答案的 F 刚好又跟逗点前面的 heat 形成一个对照，所以接下来我们就来看第3题。不过进入到第2段的第1句呢，可以把第1句整个画起来，前面的 There's no denying that 在英文当中是蛮常用的一个句型。There's no denying that 就是不可否认的是什么什么东西。好，不可否认的是什么呢？在第2句话当中 however 然而啊，不可否认的却是什么东西 as the sun can be。 好，在这里啊，第2段的第2句就太重要了，我们把第2句当中的 as 抓出来，在这里的 as 给它等于一个 although， 它这里是一个 although 变成 as 的一个倒装句型哦。虽然太阳很有益处，但是会有2种不同的有伤害的 UVA 跟 UVB。 那在这里的 as 如果是 although 的意思的话，我们本来会说 although the sun can be beneficial， 那把 although 换成 as， 也就是由 as 来代替 although， 但是会形成倒装。所以第3格如果你不知道这个句型的话，说真的不好选。好，第3格就是直接选形容词的 beneficial。 虽然阳光是很有益处的，但是有2个 harmful 关键，有2个有伤害的 UVA 跟 UVB。 接下来到了第3句又看到 while 咯， while 在这里也不是 when 的意思，还是 although。虽然 UVB 什么跟季节怎样，第4格后面有一个关键就是 with。 如果你的 J 的答案的动词 vary with something 就表示跟着什么什么而改变，那至少我们要判断第4格是个动词。虽然 UVB 这个光线会怎样随着季节逗点，但 UVA 光线却整年都有。好，这句话还不能放哦。 UVA 光线之后的逗点，逗点中间的 comprising 可以给它还原，叫做 which comprise， 它是关系子句的简化，也就是它里面其实有 95% 太阳光的辐射线啦。所以到这里的第4题应该选这个 very J 的答案。那后面就稍微比较好选咯，后面这句话啊，虽然会穿透这个什么这个云啊雾啊，但是在冬天的时候也同样也都是没有例外哦。Make no exception even on winter days。 Make no exception 算是固定片语，所以这里的 make 也算是一种暗示。不过 making 还原的话，其实本来应该是连接词的 and make。We're
going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Okay, let's continue with our lesson. Again, we're talking about the dangers of harmful UV rays and why you need to continue using sunscreen during the winter like you would during the summer. And in the 3rd paragraph here, it says, excessive or prolonged exposure to these harmful rays, again, UVA and UVB rays, can damage our skin cells' DNA. That sounds like bad news, okay? So if you have excessive or prolonged exposure, excessive means too much, prolonged means for a long time. And if you're out there in the sun too much, even in the winter, it could damage the DNA of the cells in your skin.
Ooh, you don't want to do that. This could speed up skin aging. This is important, especially to the females out there who care about their skin, which manifests this aging process that's been sped up, will manifest or show itself as fine lines and wrinkles. And it can also increase the risk of skin cancer, which can kill you. Both my parents had skin cancer before they died. That's not what they died from. But Arizona's sun is so bright that it's almost impossible not to get some type of skin cancer. So, yeah, you got to go get that taken care of, get it cut off your skin so it doesn't get worse. To manifest is one of our vocabulary words, and it means to show. So you could show a feeling, you could show an attitude. I could say I get car sick when I'm in a car or bus. So I could say motion sickness manifests as nausea, which is that like you want to throw up feeling, makes you sick to your stomach. So manifest here, if you've just been out in the sun too long, you'll start seeing fine lines appear on your face. Wrinkles are those lines on your skin that you get as you get older. You don't want those.
No, you don't. And you also don't want wrinkles in your clothing, especially if you have an important business meeting to go to. So you will need to iron your clothes before that. But we're talking about wrinkles on the skin, and you could also get skin cancer. So watch out for that. And the skincare steps we take today lay the foundation for our future health. So yes, we can take care of our skin by using, sunscreen and covering up if you're out in the sun.
Yeah, wear a hat, long sleeves.
That would help too.
Yeah.
And those, of course, will lay the foundation for future health. In other words, it will prevent problems happening in the future.
That's all important. So those are ways we can protect our skin. Now, you might think, I'll just wear more clothes, like I suggested, a hat. Long sleeves, you could use layered winter outfits. Layers just means you can peel off one layer and still have clothes on. Sometimes if you have thick clothing, you can't take it off because then you'll have your underwear showing. So these outfits can partially block the UV rays. Partially means partly. That's just a synonym for partially. Not completely, partly. So I could say, that house was partially destroyed by fire. So partly, partially, those are great synonyms. You should memorize them both. You can use them. So regular application of sunscreen, even on cloudy days, is an essential habit if you're planning to be outside for an extended period. So think about that before you go outside.
Yep, even if you're going to the beach on a cloudy day and you're going to go fishing, put some sunscreen on if you're not covered up. And don't forget your sunglasses either, okay? They prevent harmful rays from reaching your eyes. My glasses have this formula in them that make them turn dark. I think they're called transitions or something like that. Or we used to call them photo gray back in the day.
Oh, I haven't heard that.
But in any case, they'll darken your sunglasses when you're out in the sun. I think they help, but of course, a lot of people like to wear sunglasses. And again, they prevent those harmful rays from reaching your eyes and causing damage. Plus, if you're planning a snowy adventure, like going skiing or something like that, beware. Be careful here. Beware just means be careful, be cautious. And snow can reflect up to 80% of UV rays, nearly doubling our exposure. I'm not a big ski bum, as we're often called, but I remember when we had winter break from university and we'd go back to school, a number of people would have these sunburns on their faces with these white spots over their eyes because they were wearing sunglasses. And
goggles.
They actually got sunburned because the sun was reflecting off the snow.
Yeah.
So be careful if you go up to Japan or Korea and go skiing there, you might get sunburned from below and not so much from above.
Yeah, and that can make you sick. I've actually gotten sun sickness. I was out skiing, and that snow reflects so strongly. I didn't realize that. I was stupid. It was the first time I'd gone. So be careful if you go and are out in the snow. You need to still wear that sunscreen to protect yourself. Wow, doubles your exposure if you're out in the snow. That's crazy. So finally, to our last paragraph, it says our quest for skin protection doesn't take a break after summer. A quest is just a search for something, kind of a long search, a quest to find something, a quest for knowledge, a quest for adventure. So here it's a quest for skin protection. There are multiple ways you can protect your skin, and I think you should keep them all in mind. So some of it is what clothes you're wearing, maybe the hat that you choose to wear, your sunglasses because you need to protect your eyes, and of course that important sunscreen, which bleach wears off, guys, after a while, so you need to reapply sunscreen after a few hours.
And armed with the right knowledge and reasonable precautions, we can enjoy every season without compromising our skin health. So again, you just listed a bunch of precautions we need to take. Sunglasses, sunscreen, the proper clothing, etc. And you don't want to compromise our skin health. Now, usually to compromise means you try to negotiate with someone. Somebody wants one thing and somebody else wants something else. So you have to sort of meet in the middle there. You have to compromise. Yeah, we can go to the beach today and maybe go to the mountains tomorrow. Okay, does that sound cool? That's a good compromise. But in this particular case, to compromise means to put something at risk.
Right.
So you're putting your skin at risk if you don't take these precautions.
You might have seen movies or TV shows where maybe a spy has gotten inside of an important government building, and you'll hear them say, our security has been compromised, which means someone got past our security illegally. Maybe they hacked in or got through in a different way. But if something's compromised, it is suddenly at risk. Something's been damaged and but been put at risk. So you want to be careful. You don't want to compromise your skin health or put your skin's health at risk.
And instead of a seasonal routine, let's make sun protection a year-round commitment. So again, the message from our article today is that you're not really safe during the winter. You still need to protect yourself. And indeed, getting skin cancer and other types of problems with your skin can be pretty unpleasant. So, of course, we don't want to hear any news from our students, which says that, yeah, I was out in the sun and I got sunburned and I have to go see the cancer doctor. That would be really bad news. So again, you need to protect your skin both in the summer and in the winter.
One of the worst sunburns I ever got was on a very cloudy day. I was at the beach and I thought, oh, good. I don't have to worry about getting a sunburn. It was so bad that when I returned to Taiwan from California, I set off the alarm. They thought I had a fever.
My goodness.
It was bad.
That can cause all sorts of problems indeed, and I'm sure other people out there might have some stories regarding being sunburned. When I first came to Taiwan, I got a really bad sunburn when I went to the beach at Fulong. I think I foolishly underestimated the sun here, and I got terribly sunburned. I had blisters and had to lay in bed for several days.
It's miserable. You actually get sick.
Right, but the point of this article is to remind you that you need to be aware of UV rays even during the winter, so do protect yourselves. Okay, that brings us to the end of our article for today. Let's listen now to our Chinese teacher.
接下来到后面我们的选项少就会比较好选啦。好，接下来的第6题前面有关键 or， 这个 or 就表示左边的 excessive 过度的，或者是几乎同义词，也是同一个词性 prolonged， 答案 B， 延长的曝晒，这样子的话呢，对身体是有伤害，对皮肤是有伤害的。会有什么伤害呢？可能会老化啦，甚至会有皮肤癌。所以到底要如何来保护皮肤呢？接着我们就来看第7题啊，先从前面句子当中，也就是第4段第2句，在这里的 while 同样也都是 although 虽然的意思哦。虽然我们冬天穿一层一层的衣服 partially 会怎么样 UV rays 这个7的怎么样就是个动作，所以答案选 A， 虽然会隔一下 UV 的光线，但是还是要更进一步的。接下来第3句的第8题，规律的什么 of sunscreen，规律的要擦啊，每1个小时擦，每2个小时擦，所以形容词后面的名词就剩下我们的 application 啊，原来这里 C 的答案的 application 真的是涂抹的意思。好，所以我们要规律的涂抹，然后我们可能还要戴太阳眼镜，都要防止紫外线的伤害。不过最后到第9题这个地方，假设你在冬天还要去一个 snowy adventure。Plan a snowy something， 至少第9格我们可以判断出是个名词，所谓冒险的意思。那么最后面呢，我们就知道有正确的知识，合理的预防。我们如果可以被配有最后第10题第5段第2句，其实它是一个分词构句。If we are 或者是 when we are armed with， 如果我们配有装备好这些知识，就可以避免伤害哦。以上是我们今天的内容，我是安娜，我们下次见。
That's it for today, everybody. Please take care of yourselves and please join us for another edition of our program next time. From all of us here at English Digest, I'm Tom.
I'm Stephanie.
Goodbye.
Bye.